because.
But as we get older, our relationship changes. You go from more of an annoying little brother to frustrated sister, to more of a mutual relationship. We have things we can give each other. It's more of a give and take, and high school was a wonderful time to exemplify this. As you can see here, here's a graph of the power that I have over Mary's driver's license against the silence of valuable tattle knowledge. If there was something that I knew she doesn't want Mom and Dad to know, I'll drive you somewhere, I'll pick something up for you. It worked out really well. So, but high school for Mary was another wonderful time in my life. That's not because, you know, Mary's learning to be a woman of the world, learning new ideas, playing sports, and becoming the woman we all know and love today. No, that's because of all the hot high school friends she used to bring over to the house. Here's a pie chart representing my heart and Mary's individual friends dressed in Catholic schoolgirl outfits. As you can see, this piece was taken up by quite an individual, but I digress.
Who is that?
I digress. This night, Mary, stop. This night is not about me. And what kind of brother of honor would I be if I sit there and go off on some tangent? So you know what? We're gonna move on. How you doing, Lindsay? How you doing, Lindsay? But high school, you know, sibling rivalry doesn't end in high school, and it's still pumping through our veins every moment, all the time. And Mary's last year in high school was a great time for me. I'm an opportunistic creature, and she afforded me great opportunities.
Oh my gosh.
As you can see here, here is a graph of the amount of times that Mary got in trouble that year to the amount of times I told my parents I loved them. You can see it dramatically increases with everything my sister does. But I need to have a little talk with you, Mary. Aside from all the people around, I need just to say a few things. Because for a long time, you've really bothered me about something. You've always, you know, oh, Mom and Dad play favorites with you. Just because I didn't have curfew and they let me do whatever I wanted and I got to have girls over and have parties. Just because of those things, you think they played favorites. Well, I think it's ridiculous. And Mom always reprimanded you and always did anything my way. And you know what, Mary? It's ridiculous. Ma, you know, just look at this statement. There's no way you and I could ever even fit into a statement like that. So you know what? I just want to say to you, even if we examine it closer, it's just a ridiculous thing. Mom and Dad loved us equally, and you know what? There's no way you and I could ever fit
Mom
into...
always reprimanded you. And
There's no way we could fit into that statement, man. But there's no way you and I could have ever fit into that statement. So really, just grow up. Just grow up.
Mom, what did it say? What did it say?
Mom always...
It's Mom always reprimanded you and always did anything my way. I just rewrote it so you could see it. Now... But still, they love us equally, and I'm moving on.
Of course they do.
So, as we go through high school and into college, we enter our lives. We are trying to figure out what our identities are, what jobs we like, and all those things. And we go from that give and take into more of a supportive relationship. And here's a graph representing that.
Shocking.
Here's a graph of Mary's current crisis with my Verizon wireless phone bill. As you can see, it dramatically increases with Mary's current crisis of whatever was going on. But I also learned another valuable lesson in all this, in that it's very expensive to bond with Mary. Craig, what do you think? I don't know, but this was a pivotal day for me. This was the day that Mary switched from AT&T to Verizon, and we got free minutes. Julie, there you are. But now, as we get older, our bond is even stronger, and it grows stronger every day because her and I are support systems. Because our parents used to be, oh, anything that they say is what we do. Like their word is truth. And now as they're getting older, we begin to question a lot more of the things that they tell us.
Wait, I'm not liking where this is
So here's a graph of the senility of our parents against the strength of our bond. As you can see, as they slowly begin to just kind of lose it a little, we need to sit there and hold it and be like, no, Mom and Dad are crazy. And we just have that bond. So that puts us to where we are. And then the day comes when your sister, sorry, it gets me excited talking, that she tells you she's, you know, that she's met somebody. So what am I supposed to think? Greg this, Greg that. I haven't met him. All I know is that who's this other man in my sister's life? So they had to come down. It was about a year ago. And Greg and Mary decided to drive down to San Diego to come visit me. So I thought, okay, it's been a while. I've heard a lot of stories. I think it's time to meet this guy. And, you know, but what is a good little responsible, loving little brother supposed to think before you meet this guy? Well, I'll tell you. Can I kick his ass? Was the first thought that I had. I'm wondering. I put a lot of thought into it, Greg. Don't just think that I callously think these things. So I took a lot of things into account. I took his height, his weight, his build, his lustrous hair, and his general knowledge of action movies, and I came to a conclusion. I cannot kick his ass. So I'm only left with two options. Option number one, I find an ultimate fighter who likes animals that'll work for zoo passes. Or two, I hope that Greg turns out to be a really good guy. Fortunately for Greg, I was out of zoo passes, so I had to opt for option two. And I learned something, that Greg is not a good guy, but he's a wonderful man. And here's the graph to prove it. This is the good guy graph of Greg's patience against Mary's variable moods. As you can see here, work crisis, good. Family crisis, not bad. This, Greg, I never would have thought in a million years. I want the world for my sister, but to find someone with the patience for the time that it takes Mary to get ready is something that, you know, I could never have thought of. So, way to go. Hats off to you, my friend. And that's why I have to bring you up here, because I have to say some words.
All right, get there, boy.
So it's probably gonna make me upset. Don't touch me. But Mary means the world to me. And I've been through everything with her. And to stand here today and to say truly that I've never seen her happier than the day since she's met you. And I know that. She's never been happier since she's met you. And to think that she's going to have that for the rest of her life.
Or she'll call you.
Because of you. I just have nothing more to say except I love you. And welcome to the family. I'm sorry, I told myself I wasn't going to be emotional in this. But then I had to think about it, and it made sense. Here's a graph of my potential of my sensitive edge against the vulnerability of single drinking wedding party women. If anybody's interested, I have my number at the bottom.
Andy!
But now as our relationship moves, Greg, it moves from one of
My number.
someone that I'm defending my sister against to now somebody that I can team up with and kick the ass of anybody that wrongdoes our beloved Mary. Thank you. And if anyone missed the last slide, I have reprinted for you on that. I do love you, Greg, and I do welcome you to the family. There's one more thing I need to tell you. And that's, in no way does this mean that you're going to get a present from me on birthdays and Christmases. A simple phone call or card will suffice. This includes, but is not limited to, Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, Valentine's Day, Easter, Labor Day, Memorial Day, New Year's Eve, Daylight Savings, Winter Solstice, Summer Equinox, Leap Year, and Cinco de Mayo. But that leaves me where I am now. And if you two can just have the slightest bit of happiness that I have every day by being the luckiest little brother in the world, then you guys will be just fine. So I'd like to say, let's drink and cheers to the new couple.
the